right, man, let's talk about this fighter of the decade discussion. People trying to say it's Manny Pacquiao, but Pacquiao has 4 losses and he got stopped cold in the decade. And a lot of people want to act like it didn't happen. All right, he lost to Jeff Horn. All right, he lost to Timothy Bradley. All right, he got beat. He got stopped by Marquez. Right, and then he got outpointed by Floyd Mayweather, where people just don't want to accept that L that he took. And that was an easy L. That fight was easy for Floyd, other than like a round or two in that fight. But let's talk a little bit about it. We back, Goodfellas Sports TV. Appreciate the love and support. And if you want to talk about the impact that Manny Pacquiao had on boxing, what impact did he have? You know, the pride of the Philippines. Because every time I look, Floyd Mayweather got the biggest impact. But we'll get to that point in a second, man. But you know, just looking at his resume in a decade, his best win is probably, I would say, it's probably over Timothy Bradley. The 2 wins over Timothy Bradley, in my opinion, because Keith Thurman was coming off what? He just tuned up versus Josito Lopez, and then he was coming off before that, a 24-month layoff. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, you want to say Keith Thurman, his best win in a decade. That's cool. He beat a Broner who been beat multiple times. You know, Lucas Matisse. He was past his expiration date. I don't care what nobody say. He lost to Jeff Horn. That fight shouldn't even have been that close, but he lost to him. Jesse Vargas, Timothy Bradley, he beat him for a second time. Floyd Mayweather, he lost. Chris Algieri, come on. Timothy Bradley, he beat him again. I'm going from recent down the list of the decade. He beat Rios, okay, because he was coming off a loss to Marquez. He got stopped by Marquez, back-to-back losses, Timothy Bradley, Marquez. He had a majority decision that I thought he lost to Marquez. So, come on. He beat an old Shane Mosley. He beat a Margarito at a catchweight. He beat Claudy, where Claudy basically said that he was allegedly paid off for the fight. That was his decade. You know what I'm saying? What fight on this decade was better than Floyd beating up Canelo? And Floyd didn't drop a round. And then Floyd beat him. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to look at, man. You know what I'm saying? If we talking popularity and impact, it's Floyd the last 2 decades. Look no further than Manny Pacquiao working for Floyd Mayweather right now. People don't want to look at that. Manny Pacquiao working for Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Floyd is part owner of PBC. You know what I'm saying? Floyd and Al Heyman are like equals. You know, you look at what Andre Ward did in the decade, man. He did everything in the decade except for Miguel Kessler came in the last decade. He beat Alan Green. He beat Bika. He beat Abraham, who was a boogeyman. He beat Froch. He beat Dawson. He beat Kovalev. And he had some bad. He should have got a Butte on his resume. But you can make a case that it's Andre Ward and how he was dispatching and disarming people, but Andre Ward didn't have a personality, and also for Andre Ward, you know what I'm saying, he made some bad business decisions, you know what I'm saying? But that's nor here nor there. You can make a case for him because he was beating some really good guys, man. You know, those 2 Kovalev wins, people don't want to give him credit for them, but they always going to discredit you. You know what I'm saying? Them better than any wins Pacquiao had on his resume. You know, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, with Manny Pacquiao, people just they always want to give it to the other. You know, especially the boxing writers and the print media, they want to give it to the others because they tired of seeing black fighters dominate. You know, and we already know the best fighters in boxing are all black. No matter if you go, you know, wherever you go. You know what I'm saying? Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they always trying to find somebody else to give it to. And but Manny Pacquiao decade was full of catchweights, man. For the most part in the beginning, he was catchweighting dudes and, you know, paying dudes off allegedly and stuff of that nature. He lost 4 times in a decade and got stopped. How can you be the fighter of the decade? Somebody please tell me that. Somebody please tell me that. And they talking about he's an 8-division world champion. And I'm looking through his resume. And, I don't even know some of the dudes that he beaten. But that's another conversation for another day. But, But with Pacquiao, you know, you give him credit. He's a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? And also, it's always going to be the cloud of the orange juice hanging over his head. But that's a lot of fighters. You don't know who clean and who not clean. You know, you go back in the day, it's probably some guys that was cutting corners. But in particular to this decade, his decade, you know, it really ended hot with Keith Thurman in that fight. But he didn't even blow Keith Thurman out. That was a split decision. And then you go look at Floyd's resume. You got Floyd beating niggas by country miles. And I'm not even the biggest Floyd fan at this point. But you got Floyd beating dudes by a country mile. You know what I'm saying? You got him washing Canelo. You know what I'm saying? He had close fights with Madonna. I'm not going to front. The first one was hella close. You know what I'm saying? And then he wasn't as active as he once was as he started making all that money. You know, but Shane Mosley, that was a better Shane Mosley than Pacquiao fought. Victor Ortiz was hungry. Cotto was a better Cotto than Pacquiao fought because it wasn't at a catch weight. It was at 54. You know, that's how it's different to look at the resumes, but to actually see the fight and know the details is different. Guerrero, it was what it was. Canelo, Madonna, he beat Pacquiao, so how can you beat somebody and not be fighter of the decade? You know what I'm saying? And look at the numbers. You know what I'm saying? He continued to do big numbers. He did big numbers with Pacquiao. They held the pay-per-view event. All right? Before Pacquiao fight him, Pacquiao wasn't even touching 1 million pay-per-views no more. You know, nowhere close. Floyd was still being close. You know what I'm saying? And he fought Conor McGregor, and he did another 4 million or whatever pay-per-views. He didn't break the record. So if we talking popularity and we talking like resume, at the end of the day, quality over quantity any day of the week. The quality of your wins. And Manny Pacquiao wins, if you look at them, they very, very hollow, man. He can easily have about 5 or 6 losses on his resume in this decade. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, catch weight with Margarito. The Clottey situation and that whole situation about him being paid, allegedly paid to take a dive. You know what I'm saying? He could have lost to Marquez in 2011. Marquez won that fight. I remember watching that fight. You know what I'm saying? You could have said he lost to excuse me. You could have said he lost to motherfucking Keith Thurman. That was a split decision. You know, and we talking about a dude fighter of the decade. And if it's about popularity and resume and impact and all that, Floyd Mayweather got the biggest impact on the game. You know what I'm saying? You know, who put the money in the game? Him and Al. You know, for the fighters. You know what I'm saying? De La Hoya was a cash cow. And without De La Hoya, Floyd probably would have never reached that status. And I will admit to that. But the thing about Floyd is everybody is mimicking what Floyd did. Everybody talking before Floyd did this shit with Manny Pacquiao, A side, B side, Vada drug testing, fighting once, twice a year, and getting all this money. That was Floyd. Everybody, these are Floyd kids. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is following the Floyd blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is following the Floyd blueprint. There ain't nobody following the Pacquiao blueprint. What's the Pacquiao blueprint? He didn't make no business moves inside the boxing game. Only thing he did, he had to deal with Nike, and he lost it this decade due to some homosexual comments he made about homosexual people. So we talking about impact. You know what I'm saying? Grossing $1 billion, the highest paid athlete. He beat the man, Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? Even the decade before that, man. You go to the decade before that for Manny Pacquiao, you know what I'm saying? He was hot as fish grease, but he still lost to fucking Eric Morales. He still had a draw with Marquez in that decade. He still had a technical draw versus some dude named Apagachi Sanchez. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like I said before, it's always about discrediting the black fighter because they tired of seeing the same people on top. The same people on top. You know what I'm saying? Manny Pacquiao is a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? But to get him fighter of the decade, last decade and this decade, he don't hold no records. As far as money-wise. You know what I'm saying? He had 8 division world titles, but how many dudes did he fight? If it was 1 title per weight class, how many division titles would he have? He wouldn't have that many. I'm telling you. He wasn't fighting a lineal champion. He was just getting the belt and getting the hell out of there. He wasn't standing there to establish his dominance, man, even in this decade. You know what I'm saying? He fought a certain type of fighter, bro, but at the same time, not trying to discredit him. You know, but Floyd Mayweather was the fighter of the decade, the last 2 decades. I don't care. If it ain't Floyd, it's Andre Ward for this decade. You know, Pacquiao is an opportunist, bro. Keith Thurman, he wouldn't have fought Keith Thurman 3-4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? He's an opportunist. You know, and you could make a point that Floyd is an opportunist as well, too. But if Floyd get his opportunities, he wash your ass for the most part. No, but like I said before, look no further. Pacquiao is an employee of Floyd. Without Al Heyman, where would Pacquiao be? Still on top rank, getting advances, getting deeper in depth, fucking around with Bob. You know, what'd he be doing? Fumbling pay-per-views. Fucking with Michael Kahn still. You know, he getting real money over there with Floyd now. You know, what are you doing? Begging for a Floyd rematch. How you fighter of the decade? How you fighter of the decade and you begging another man for a rematch? How you fighter of the decade and your numbers don't look like his? You ain't got no pay-per-view. Your pay-per-view numbers outside of with him, they ain't nowhere near close to his. How you fighter of the decade and you working for him? How you fighter of the decade you still begging for him? How the fighter of the decade you lost to him? You know what I'm saying? How you fighter the last decade? You fighting everybody you fought. You know, his leftovers was at catch weights. You know what I'm saying? How you fighter the decade? You know what I'm saying? With 4 losses on your resume and you got stopped. Cold. How you fighter the decade and you got so many question marks with Marquez and Floyd beat him easy and then drop around. Come on, you gotta ask yourself that, man. You gotta ask yourself that, man. Give me quantity over quality. Give me quality over quantity. Excuse me. Manny Pacquiao is a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? But he got bumps all across the way. You know, you just didn't even look at the losses, man. The split decisions with Marquez, the drain of Oscar De La Hoya, beating Ricky Hatton after Floyd beat Ricky Hatton last decade, draining Miguel Cotto. You know what I'm saying? You know, allegedly paying off Clotty. You know, you keep going on and on. Fighting Shane Mosley after Floyd fought Shane Mosley. You know, you struggle with Marquez so much, Floyd obliterated Marquez. You lost to Timothy Bradley, split decision. It shouldn't even have been that close. People say, it wasn't that close. Why they got something against Manny Pacquiao? Tell me that. Why they got something against Manny Pacquiao and they love him so much? You know what I'm saying? Why you be struggling with people if they love Manny Pacquiao so much? You know what I'm saying? And why he struggling and why they robbing him so much? They ain't trying to rob Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the whole cloud and situations that's going on with him, man. But, you know, people just gonna say that. We all know who ranked higher on the all-time great list. You know what I'm saying? Now, if him and Floyd would have fought in 2009, what would have been the situation? Not sure. You know, Floyd was younger. Floyd was on, I wouldn't say he was on top of his game, but was absolutely on top of his game. He was a good fighter then. Pacquiao, he was looking like he was unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? But then again, it's easy to look unstoppable when you fight motherfuckers that's drained. When you catch weighting dudes and stuff like that, it's easy to look faster than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? If this dude, I'm just put it to you this way. If this dude was going to blow Floyd out the water in 2009, which Floyd should have stepped up and fought him, regardless of the whole situation. If this dude was such an animal in 2009, you know what I'm saying? Why the fuck was he struggling in 2008 with Marquez? Floyd would have dispatched him then too. And I believe if Cotto didn't go through that traumatic experience with Margarito and then he didn't catch weight Cotto or drain Cotto, you know what I'm saying? I think Cotto probably would have beat Manny Pacquiao. You know, especially if he would have kept his uncle in his corner and not been an idiot. You know, he wanted to do shit his way, and that's the problem. These fighters get a little bit of money and they turn diva. And they want to be more comfortable, but training uncomfortable is what got Cotto to be the mean left hook to the body Cotto. You know, Cotto was at his absolute best when he was with his uncle. You know, and he was tired of his uncle. He got some money. He was tired of his uncle telling him what to do. His career was never the same. Even the Margarito, the traumatic experience he experienced with the little raps allegedly, but he was doing when he got rid of his uncle. Truth be told. And then he got with Freddie Roach. He should have stayed with Pedro Diaz. Pedro Diaz had Miguel Cotto looking the best he did since his uncle. But these dudes want to be comfortable when they get all this money. They don't want to grind like they once did. But no way in hell Pacquiao the fighter of the decade, man. And y'all know that, man. Pacquiao in the comment section, man. I had to drop this video, man. Motherfucker got his ass whooped 4 times, man. You know what I'm saying? Then you got so many derogatory marks that you could put on this damn resume, man. The majority decision over Marquez in 11, draining Margarito, the Clotty situation. Maybe we can go on and on, man. But it's Goodfellas Sports TV. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you got business, question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation, link subscription. Best way to donate is share the video. Let me know what you guys think. One time for the one time. It's your boy CJ Goodfellas. We go.